Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to episode 11 of Grimm Tuesdays. In today's episode I am going to be talking about the fairy tale called The White Snake. Now I feel that I must give a warning about this story that it contains animal endangerment and abuse and also death as well. So this story focuses on a king and his servant who is living in this castle in his kingdom, and this servant is a very loyal and good servant towards his king, and every single day he brings to the king this bowl that has this towel draped over it, and he brings it to the king every single day, and he doesn't know what's underneath it. He's forbidden to look under it and to see what it is. But the king is always given this bowl and he's always in a room by himself and no one knows why. But one day the servant is consumed with all this curiosity about what is in this bowl. So before he gives it to the king, he takes it to his quarters, locks the door, and takes off the towel and just basically looks to see what it is. And it is a white snake. Now, it's not described whether this snake is alive or whether it is dead, but considering that the servant eats it, I'm going to say it's dead. So when the servant eats this white snake, the moment it touches his tongue and he consumes it, he has the ability now to talk to animals. And we are led to believe that this is why the king is eating this white snake every day, because he wants to have the ability to talk to animals for some weird unknown reason. So when he does this, there are no consequences for eating the king's white snake, but the servant has been given the abilities to talk to animals regardless. And then the queen's ring goes missing and blame is put on the servant, and he overhears some ducks talking, and they are talking about how one of them ate this ring. So the servant takes this duck to the cook in the castle and says, look, cook this duck. And he does. And he even cuts it open and he gets the ring out of its stomach and gives it back to the queen. And as a reward for this, the servant only asks the queen for a horse and some money as well. And he tells the king and the queen that all he wishes is to go and travel the world and experience the kingdom for himself. So as he's doing this, he comes across these 3 fishes in this pond or lake or whatever that are trapped in this weeding area. And so he frees them and puts them back into the open water area. And as a result of helping them out, they promise that they will one day help him in his hour of need as a reward for helping them out. And as he is walking along the path, he comes across this big group of ants on the ground, and the king of the ants, that's what he's called, the ant king, is telling or is saying that how everyone just ignores them and just stomps on them with their massive beasts, presumably their horses or dogs or whatever. So the servant overhears this and he does the honourable thing and takes his horse and gallops or trots along the side of the path, avoiding the ants. And so the Ant King rewards the servant's actions by also telling him that he will also come to him and help him in his hour of need as a reward for basically not stepping on all of his subjects. Now, the third instance and occasion where the servant comes across some talking animals is probably the most disturbing section of this book, well, one of them anyway, when he comes across a pair of crows that are taking their young and throwing them out of the nest. I think that this is something that birds actually do to help their young evolve and adapt to the world, I suppose. I'm not really sure. I'm not really much of a bird expert. But this happens, and when they are on the ground, they are saying, "Oh, someone help us, we're going to starve and we're all going to die." So the servant gets off his horse, gets his sword, and stabs his horse to death. And when the carcass of his horse is lying on the ground, he tells the crows to basically feast on the corpse of his dead horse. Now, I thought that this was kind of morbid and really scary and unexpected for a children's book, but probably not unexpected for any Grimm fairy tale. But as a result of this, the crows yet again tell him that they will come to him in his hour of need for helping them not starve. So as the servant is going along his travels, he comes along another kingdom where there is talk about the king of that area having a competition where people can participate, and if they are successful, they will win his daughter's hand in marriage. They will be able to marry the princess of that new kingdom. So the servant is really enchanted by the princess's beauty, and he goes in for this competition, but he knows that if he fails, he will die. And it's made clear to him that everyone that has done this trial or attempted it has also died. So when he is told to stand in the middle of, I think it's the sea or a lake of some sort, and the king throws a ring into the lake, he has to dive down and get it. But if he comes up without the ring, he will basically be forced down into the sea again repeatedly until he has died. So the fish come along and help him retrieve the ring. But the princess is really horrified that this servant has won her competition, as she's not very attracted to him, and she also looks down upon this servant as a lesser being, someone that she is not worthy or isn't worthy of marrying her. Again, I'm not sure why this is a thing in the Grimm fairy tales where forced marriage is encouraged despite whether you love each other or not. So the princess makes up a new competition or a new task for the servant to achieve or to do, where she gets all these seeds and she throws them all on the ground, and she tells him that if you pick up all these seeds by the time the sun rises or something like that, you will win. So the ants come along, pick up all the seeds, and he wins the contest again. But she makes up a new and final task where she tells him to get an apple from a tree called the Tree of Life. Now, this tree, as far as I can tell from the story, is far away and it's many miles away. So the crows come along, take an apple from the Tree of Life and give it to the servant. And as soon as he gets this apple, he shares it with the princess, and as soon as they eat it, her heart is full of so much love towards the servant, and it's implied as well that this apple has some kind of magical abilities and powers, and that's what makes her fall in love with this servant. So yeah, that's basically the story of the white snake. It's never really discussed why this white snake has the ability to give people the power to talk to animals and to understand animals. But it's a very unique story, and it's one that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed this one. Once again, let me know, have you read this? Have you heard about this? Was you read it as a child? And yeah, we can have a discussion about it down below in the comments. And please do not forget to check out some of my other Grimm Tuesday episodes where I talk about all of the Grimm fairy tales in their own separate videos. So please do not forget to check out that. I've created a whole playlist, so if you want to watch any of them episodes, they'll be all right there. So yeah, with all that out of the way, all said and done, have a great day, read some awesome books, and I will see you all in my next video.